In order to attract a man's attention and arouse his feeling of sympathy, it is necessary to carry out certain actions that will significantly increase the value of the girl. Initially, all representatives of the fair sex are just white noise for men, to whom they feel neither attraction nor interest. Standing out from this crowd can be problematic, especially in a competitive environment. However, even if you are noticed, further development of the relationship may not happen. For example, being a good friend or just an attractive person, you can end up in a friend zone or even become an object of objectification when a man sees you only as a sexual object. But how do you get him to start falling in love and consider your candidacy for the role of his wife? Let's turn to the basics of psychology to figure out this situation. There are two main values of a companion. The first is accessibility. Imagine that a man has a choice between two beautiful girls. The first one causes a natural desire in his body, he just wants to get physical pleasure quickly. Although she can be an interesting and fun company, he does not want to fall in love with her. Therefore, he will most likely be able to fuck her and forget. The second girl has set for herself complex criteria that a man must fulfill in order to become her partner. As a result, the competition for it increases, as many see it as a valuable prize. But there is a nuance here: mentally healthy men do not want to participate in this game, they are looking for reciprocity in a relationship and do not want to compete with anyone. But future abusers are happy to join the fight. For them, the girl becomes a trophy, an object of possession. They do not feel in love, most likely they will control and limit her freedom, because they believe that they won and deserved her. Thus, the first girl is easily accessible, and the second is completely inaccessible. Who will a man fall in love with? If he just wants to have an interesting time, he will choose the first one, and then go look for a wife. The abusers are happy to get the second one to put it on the shelf. And a mentally healthy man, whom girls dream of, will not be interested in any of them. So how do you achieve a certain accessibility so as not to go to extremes and at the same time attract adequate partners? You need to be easily accessible to him and completely inaccessible to everyone else. It is through accessibility that you can demonstrate your sympathy. Don't go out with others, but accept his suggestions. Don't let anyone touch you but him. And only communicate with him on social networks. Refuse to meet on the street, but give him your number. In this way, you show your sympathy and accessibility. This will stand out from the crowd and attract his attention. Of course, you can choose another path, but then you should not complain about the result. Men want to feel unique, special, and meaningful. We must not forget that the upbringing of a boy in most cases is based on the principle of achieve, deserve, match to get love. Some are very tired of this and protest in the form of a complete rejection of courtship and serious relationships. Others plunge headlong into the process of achieving inaccessible goals, and at the end of this battle, they cease to respect a woman and perceive her as a trophy that cannot be lost because it was given hard work and became a support for self-esteem. And still others have worked out their behavior patterns, and now what is inaccessible to them is not interesting, what is easily accessible is not valuable, but what is inaccessible to everyone and easily surrenders to him is what is needed. You will be able to demonstrate this and your man. The second, no less important, characteristic. There are a lot of beautiful girls, but only the stars of social networks and TV have crowds of fans. It's the same in companies, attention is always focused on one or a couple of girls. They are bright, attractive, and desirable. And it shows. Of course, girls with a hysterical personality type are out of competition here, they are always on top, they cannot be overlooked and they are basking in the rays of glory. To put it even more simply, everyone, the majority, wants them. The lion's share of men have low internal self-esteem, the reason is the same upbringing. Someone compensates for it externally, someone is forced to seek, care for and deserve in order to get support. The girl becomes a support for self-esteem, because if his companion has value with other men, then he feels his own importance and relevance. And this distinguishes us from animals, where the male is always beautiful and bright. In humans, the opposite is true. But you can't go far on one appearance, it's important to create the right image and have some kind of status. To put it even more simply, a representative of the fairer sex should have something that a man can brag about. Very beautiful, rich, successful, famous, talented, smart, well-mannered, educated and so on. Try to list your advantages, put yourself in the guy's place. What can I tell you about you to make it all appreciated? Why is it about manipulation? In the title of the article we see the word manipulation, and probably many thought that it would be about some kind of deception. In general, it is. We all know cherry-picking technology, when a person chooses the right thing, ignoring the rest. When seducing a guy, it is important to create the right image, convey the necessary information to him and push everything unnecessary under the baseboard, so that the attention does not dissipate. Representatives of the stronger sex, when meeting a girl, see a white sheet and then after they have examined her breasts, face and hips. It is not known what the conclusions will be. He may think that she is very beautiful, so she is guaranteed to ride in the baths with men. There's a crowd there and it's different every day. Horror. Fuck that. This, by the way, is one of the reasons why very often beautiful girls are unhappy. Or you didn't make the right impression, you seemed like a gray mouse. The job is stressful, there is some kind of education, but she is zero in her specialty, poor, not bright, with a lot of problems. It's a shame to show this to your friends and you shouldn't introduce them to your parents. Neither fish nor meat. And he didn't learn anything about your talents, skills, abilities, potential and complex value. We couldn't show it. And then there will be no falling in love. The most striking example is bad photos on social networks and an empty profile. Tell a friend that you have met a girl and are going on a date, he will ask to show her, open the page, and everything there is not attractive. And I don't want to go anymore. This is also why it is important to design your social networks well, and not to delay communication for a long time and immediately go on a date. It is better not to sit in a cafe on it, but to do something together. In the process, the man learns about your advantages. Maybe you know about all the discounts in the world, or in a conversation you will show your knowledge of the history of ancient Rome. A bike ride will demonstrate excellent physical fitness. A fan will recognize you on the street. In general, here you can fantasize for yourself. If you know how to create the right image, then a man is guaranteed to fall in love. The main thing to remember is that he wants to get a significant and status girl who will be easily accessible to him and completely inaccessible to others. By playing on his feelings, you will first arouse interest, and then sympathy. If all this turns out to be a lie, you will break up. If your image is true, then the value is unlikely to ever fall. And then the incredible will happen, mutual attraction without violating personal boundaries and the balance of importance. Be sure to share your opinion in the comments.